Hello everybody, hope your day's been going well. We're up against a dragon deck, which is the best deck. This is, as the networks say, we interrupt our regularly scheduled programming because we've got into Mid-Wek Magic and Wizards showed off 5 pre-made decks. And they're all to basically advertise the Alchemy Edgewell, or Alchemy, I saw Edgewell in there, Alchemy Eldraine cards. And this is blue, green, and red colors, so Temur. We're getting into the wedge colors. And we've got a lot of choices here because this deck is called Adventures into Eldraine. So it's really heavy on... Hang on, let me just kill the whelp. It's really heavy on just sort of being adventure tribal, on packing almost every kind of adventure from the 3 colors into one deck at once. So potentially, it's one of the more powerful. That's going to come out as a 5/5 flyer. So what do we do against that? Trying to figure out what color I need. I've got one of each for sure anytime that I want. Let's do blue. Okay, so we can return a target permanent. We can put instant or sorcery on top of the library. We can distribute. I think we bring down the dog. They're killing my dog. Okay. Free food token. I guess that's enough. What do they get rid of? They get rid of Victory of the Pyrohammer and Draconic Debut. Huh. I wouldn't normally want to get rid of those cards. Okay, you... What else are you going to cast? They spent 3 to reveal it last turn, so once you reveal Heir to the Dragonfire, it becomes +3/+3 and becomes a dragon. Oh, they're going to take my cards. Alright. We will throw you back up away. Alright. Anything cast that's 3 or less, Viper does 1 damage to the player. That does not have haste. They didn't miss a single land drop, so now they can cast the 6-mana dragons. They reveal another one, right? Or do they do have to reveal that again? That was 3, so it cost them a point. Oh, they get another +3. I think I hurt myself with that. Do I have a way to deal with an 8/8 flyer now? You live and learn. Well, actually, I'm not going to live and learn. I'm going to die. Okay, we can bring down the Hollow Scavenger. Yeah, I don't know that there's anything in this deck that deals with an 8/8 flyer. Well, I did that on accident, but now I'm going to come do a bounce deck where I bounce my own creature back and just keep pumping it up. And all of our stuff is so small, their board wipes are enough. Just 2 damage does board wipes to me every time. Well, I guess it's not a big deal that they discarded those because they just don't need them. What do we got here? Till end of turn becomes base 1/1. That would be good if I had something that could tackle flight. Okay, so let's do this. Instant or sorcery comes on top. I'm gonna have to get rid of my elusive otter. That's gonna be tough. That was gonna be a win condition later. Draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Didn't get a land. And I'm out of energy, so the 8/8's gonna kill me next turn, right? So I was basically gonna cast the Amphibian Accident, turn it into a blue frog, and then Frantic Firebolt it. But ran out of time, because I didn't know I could turn the 5/5 into an 8/8. Alright, you know what? I learned something valuable there. It only cost us the match. Right, yeah, this basically what we're doing is the Mid-Wek Magic only has a little bit of time left. So I'm on the 5th deck, and I'm going to release 1 video a day that just showcases each deck and runs through it so that you can get an idea. If you haven't had enough time, I know there's a lot of you that work and you don't have enough time to sample everything that Arena offers. And the Mid-Wek Magic is really only good for, what, maybe 2 days? And so if you just miss a single day of Arena, you're like, oh crap, I can maybe check out 2 or 3 of these decks, but it's hard to handle them all. So I've given up on the last couple days of getting my 15 wins. I'm just trying to record these 5 decks so that y'all can see what they're made of and get an idea of maybe what Wizards was thinking. Well, obviously we need a lot of green. And this is the pigs, right? Okay. We bring down Hex, Kellen's companion dog. It has haste, but we don't run that into the pig. That is an instant. They're not going to bargain that, so they're just going to look for a basic land card. And we can't block that. So, pretty good turn for them. They used all their mana. We did not get land. We are in terrible shape. Absolutely terrible shape. Just like the dragons, they've got a 4/4 flyer now. Okay, we do have 4 lands. We do get something on the ground. I'm thinking how to use these. We don't have reach yet. I wanted that to be a land. Okay, so we create a food token. The dog goes into exile. We do not attack. But we get ready with Amphibian Accident. They can exile the food if they want. We could activate it or save it, but we've got a bigger plan right now. We're just waiting for the attack. Kind of wish they'd cast a spell first. But they're being very cautious right now. Either that or they're still reading their cards to figure out what they do. Okay, another pig comes out. They got all 3 pigs! Now if they have the green alchemy spell, they could get even more out right this second. Bingo. Become a frog. Pig into a frog. The dog gets a +1/+1 on it in exile. They decide to get rid of the food token, that's fine. We can block the 1/1, 1 pig goes away. Alright. Hey, we could do that again. Okay, next. No, that would be 3. Let's just bring this down. Because we're casting one from exile, the dog comes back out of exile. And these aren't counters, right? Let's see. Perpetually gets +1/+1, so it gets effects. The fetch counter that's on it only exists in exile. Once it comes out of exile, it doesn't record having the fetch counter on it. Turn up to 2 creature cards, so they're only going after the pig. It still comes back for 2 as a 4/4. So we got a 4/4 flyer back. Would be nice if we could get a land. And they've got all 3 little pigs down, which is something I've never been able to do while playing that pig deck. And they did it twice. We get a land! It's a little late. They don't have an artifact or enchantment, do they? So we're passing. They attack with everybody. We're going to do the accident prone thing again. Deals 1 damage. And we get a +1 there. So we kill you. I think we can get rid of you. Do they have a damage spell? No, they don't. So they just live with doing 6 points of damage and getting us down to 3. And they get 2 cards. Okay, so they got both of those. So they planned it. We've killed that thing twice now, and it keeps coming back. Okay, where's my reach? Okay, this costs 5. That would be everything. They've already got too many. Okay, so if I do this, return it costs more. I kind of have to do this on my turn. So I'm just going to do 1. 1 and done. You go back up. And then we bring you down as a 2/2, and that brings us back the dog. And now they have 4 attackers and we have 4 blockers. That ruins the plans I was going to do with that adventure stuff, but still waiting to see if there's any artifact or enchantment. I don't think there is in this deck. Yeah, there is. Yeah, there is. There's Food Coma. So I could still use that for Food Coma. Not as an instant, though. They're just getting heavy on the pigs. 2, 4, 5, 6 attackers now to my 4. What do we need? Blue? Okay, where is... I need the reach. That's all I can afford. If they want to do a suicide run, they could still get 2 points of damage in. And if they have a combat trick, that would kill me, and I can't stop them. Was afraid of that. This is the end. Take out the third little pig, take out the third little pig, take out the first little pig. One pig gets through. Show us your card. Yep, exactly. The pigs beat us out of everything. They got so many lands. It took us forever to get to 6 lands. That's kind of been this whole week for me, is just constantly being mana starved. Well, let me hang on. Before I go automatically into the next battle, let's go ahead and dissect the deck real quick. Adventure into Eldraine. Okay, so 3-color deck, really heavy on the adventures. Elusive Otter is great if you can get some creatures down for the Grows Bounty sorcery. Distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control. And then Prowess for bringing it down. Creatures with power less than Elusive Otters can't block it. This is really great to stack with 4 copies of, because then you could have an Elusive Otter down on the ground and stick a bunch of counters on it, and then couldn't be blocked. We have to live with just 1, but it could still be a game turner. Aquatic Alchemist. Get an instant or sorcery card from the graveyard on top of your library. That's good. Whenever you cast one of those instants or sorceries, it becomes a 3/3. Passive Tpull is the Alchemy card. You could return a creature you control to its hand, or a creature you don't control to its hand. And their spell costs 1 more to cast, yours costs 1 less to cast. And you could actually do both of those if it's advantageous for you on the same turn. Again, we didn't have enough energy to do what I wanted to do with that card, and to just burn it for survival, and it still didn't work. Accident Prone Apprentice is kind of cool. We got 2 of those, so 2 tricks to turn something really big, like a dragon, flying dragon maybe, into a 1/1 blue frog and take it out. And then whenever you cast a non-creature spell, the apprentice perpetually gets +1/+1. Also triggers if the apprentice is still in exile. Picnic Ruiner, distribute 3 counters among any creature. When it attacks, while you control a creature with power 4 or greater, it gets double strike. Ratcatcher Trainee, this card is everywhere. Create 2 rats, and then if it's your turn, the Ratcatcher Trainee itself has first strike. Scalding Sniper, bounce a target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with mana value 3 or less, the Viper does damage to the player. There's Hexkellen's Companion. You saw how that worked. It's a little complicated alchemy card, but basically if you cast an adventure spell, if it's on the battlefield or in exile, it perpetually gets +1/+1. You throw it from battlefield into the exile bin, and then whenever you cast a spell from exile, it doesn't have to be an adventure card, but the adventure cards are in the exile zone, so it counts. But other cards that are in exile would also count. Whenever you cast any spell from exile, you put it back onto the battlefield. Intrepid Truffle Snout, that's the +2/+2 they just killed me with. Whenever it attacks alone, create a food token. Questing Druid, this is a reprint. Whenever you cast a spell that's white, blue, black, or red, put a +1/+1 counter on it. They have the Seek the Beast adventure to this one. Exile the top 2 cards of your library, and you can play them. Frolicking Familiar, blow off steam, deals 1 damage to any target. Then whenever you cast instant or sorcery, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn. Frantic Firebolt, this is one of the preview cards I think that Wizards kind of showed us off early, right? Deals X damage to target creature, where it equals 2 plus the number of cards in your graveyard that are instant sorcery and or have an adventure. Minecart Daredevil, another combat trick, +2/+1 to the creature, then it comes down as a 4/2. Hollow Scavenger, create a food token for the bakery raid, and then you can sacrifice a food and do +2/+2, but you can only do it once per turn. Grow Old Together is an alchemy card. Seek 2 creature cards from among the top 10 cards of your library and then shuffle, and all creature cards in your hand perpetually get +1/+1. Nice card. Blue Luna Grand Squall, this one's kind of famous already from the early access event. Mill 7 cards, then put all cards that have an adventure from among the milled cards into your hand, and then permanent spells you cast that have an adventure cost 1 less to cast. So that's a banger card. Chancellor of Tales, whenever you cast an adventure spell, you may copy it, potentially very deadly. But you need a lot of land for all this. Storm Rating needs 7. A lot of people just put it down for 4 as the 3/3 giant. Ventress Transmuter, tap a creature, then create a cursed roll, and it comes down as a 3/4. Conundrum of Bowls, seek a card with mana value less than the number of cards in your hand, then seek one with greater number, then count the number of cards in your hand. You can cast a spell with mana value equal to that number without paying. I like the card. That's an alchemy card because of all the seek stuff. But if I get 4 of those, I'm probably going to make an alchemy deck. Grabby Giant, gives you a treasure token for That's Mine, and then becomes 4/3 with Reach. Ferocious Werefox gives you a monster token, and then brings you down as an Elf Foxware that has 4/3 and Trample. Tempest Heart is draw 2 cards and discard. It comes down as a 3/4 Elemental Elk with Trample, and whenever you cast spells with mana value 5 or greater, it gets a counter. We don't have a lot of 5 spells here, so the power of 5 isn't going to be a big decider in this one. Vigilance has haste as long as you own a card that has an adventure in exile. Beanstalk Worm gives us an additional land, then we can bring it down as a 5/4 Reach. Steady Tortoise gives us a 1/1 white rabbit, and then whenever you attack, the tortoise perpetually gets +1/+1, also triggers if the tortoise is in exile, so potential for this alchemy card to grow really powerful. Balluna's Gatekeeper, bounce spell for mana value 3 or less, and then a 6/5 giant. Hearth Elemental, discard your hand, then draw 2 cards, and then turn it into a 4/5 elemental. Hearth Elemental. It costs X less to cast, where it's equals to the number of cards in your graveyard that are instant sorcery or have an adventure. And/or. Stormkilled Vanguard, destroy target artifact or enchantment, and can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, so no chump blocking to the 6/7. That's our deck. Let's get back into it. See what else we come up. I can't believe we lost to the pigs. But again, we need the land. They did really good on... There's a lot of land ramp cards in the pig deck, but every other time I faced it, that didn't really help it any. Here with this, we seem to have trouble getting creatures down in time. Alright, here comes the dog. Let's see if they kill it again. It's got haste, so we can get a hit in real quick. Let's see. 1 damage to any target. We missed a land drop again, didn't we? Here we can create a rabbit. Our dog goes away. The 1/1 has haste. And because we attack, whenever you attack, the tortoise gets 1. They get the dragon deck gets Reva's down on turn 3 again, and me with no way to kill it, which means I'm gonna lose. All I can do, again, we're missing land drops. You wizards, you're killing me. Really? Every single match you're gonna have me land starved? 4-2 already. He's not going to attack with Reva's. It's worth attacking with the Warmonger. Uses Reva's to just bring down the Whelp. That comes in tapped. Okay, 1 damage to any target. Let's get rid of the Whelp. And the dog gets +1. And again, all we can do That has haste. Let's go ahead and tap it, put a curse roll on it. Pump up the dog again. Get a rabbit. Attack with you, because we attack with the tortoise. We've got 2 tortoises. They both get pumped up. And I've got first strike, so that was wrong. You should not have blocked that. I don't know why they did that. I've got 2 Hearth Elementals. I can't really... If I use one spell, I'm going to discard the other one. They're just using Rivas to bring down dragon after dragon after dragon. That's got haste. I missed a land drop again? Okay, so if we do this, we'll do both. We'll bring up the one I control. If we bring you, they already have enough land for everything. I'll just bring you up again. And then I wanted to create some rats, but again, I'm doing everything I can there. We'll go ahead and attack with that one. I don't expect the dragon whelp to block. We've got 5/5 and 6/6 if we could ever get to 5 lands arena. We can still block so they can't attack with Rivas, but they can bring this down already, right? Although it didn't show us, it cost them 9, so they used Convoke there. Ooh, they're attacking with you? That's worth it. You tapped out. Okay, so now we have a 4/4 flyer we got to worry about. We finally got a land. What color? Does it matter what color I get at this point? I've got green, red, and blue. I guess blue? What can I do here? I can get a 2/2 flyer. That doesn't have reach. None of this has reach. All I can do next time is get a chump blocker out. And that's the difference 7 lands makes versus 4 right there. I mean, the dragon deck I think is better regardless, but why would you attack with Godric? Why bother? Do they have something to kill this? I'm going to have to discard, right, just to go find something? Okay, they do that, so if they got a dragon with haste next turn... Okay, so I got 1 life point. I have to bring down a chump blocker. I get the dog back on the ground. It doesn't do me any good. If they've got a dragon, it became really cheap for them to cast. Cost 2 less. They can bring down anything anyway. They don't reveal that, which means they're going to cast that card too. 4 damage to each creature and planeswalker. Why would you do that? This is getting kind of weird. Let's seek some creatures. And we attack with the dog. Pump up the tortoises. Return target creature you don't control. You know what? Discard your hand and draw 2 cards. That puts the dog safe. And there's all of our land. End the turn. If they have a haste flyer, we're dead. Okay, they can go straight to number 4. Or they can do 2 damage to the opponent. Two damage now, or do you go straight for the flying dragon? They go straight for the Flying Dragon. And I drew a... the last 3 cards were lands now that I didn't need the land anymore. So, yeah, there's absolutely nothing that I can do. You know Arena wants you to lose when they land starve you first and then they flood you later. Because if you don't die from the land starvation, then they say, okay, you just don't get any spells now. I think I've lost enough already today. I don't know why they keep doing that to me. I'd like to give this deck a decent chance. I do need at least one match where we don't miss our land drops. I'm just not having any luck tonight. Okay, let's see. We don't have blue yet, so let's take the blue. Dragon deck already? Yep. Create the rabbit. Start pumping up the tortoise. They're not going to cast anything? Oh, there we go. Yeah, take my cards. Now, they're going to get land and they're going to have no problem getting my stuff, right? You don't normally see a dragon deck take this long. Maybe they're just examining my cards. They need to get the dragon down to get the treasure to use them because we have, unless they have a red card, they can't cast the blue and green with this. They kill my dog. How dare you? Alright. Get a land at least. Let's go get a treasure token. And let's go ahead and pump up the rabbit. No. We don't want to burn the treasure on that yet. We want to see if we can get this tortoise down soon. What else we got? Didn't get land. Okay. Pump up the tortoise. Hopefully they think we're just pumping up the tortoise. They don't notice accident prone. Nope, they're letting that through. Can play an additional land, that doesn't help. Steady tortoise. Shoot. Okay. What'd we lose? Beanstalk worm? We lost the worm. Figures that had reach. Giant has reach. It's easy for them to kill him. Okay, that was my card. Killing me with my card. They should have had a ramp spell in here somewhere. Dang, they don't even let me have my rabbit. Still not getting the land. There's nothing to do, nothing to take out flyers here. That's all I got. And all I can do is trade with the Decadent Dragon. Never mind. Giant's dead. I'm gonna die. Yeah, it seems pretty useless against the Dragon deck. There's nothing in this. There's no card in here that can deal with 3 opponents. They're still casting spells. Alright, terrible showing. I'm tempted to do one more, but I'm out of time. So we'll show you the deck one more time. It's got an interesting smattering. It has potential. If you did hit the land drops and you got some of the interesting cards, you know, if you got Balloon of Grand Squall, that might be fun. If you did get, there's very limited removal and interaction here. You need a couple of those. I do kind of like the Accident Prone Apprentice. That's kind of fun. Although it's interesting. Who's the otter? I think there's part of the story that I don't know yet with that, because they do show us the frog, the blue frog down at the lower left. I guess the wizard transformed himself into the otter, and the other creature got turned into the frog. Yeah, there's all sorts of interesting things here that could be fun if we ever got the land to get them, but you know, maybe you'll have better luck than me. If you've played with this deck and you did get some land and it worked for you, leave a comment and let me know. Is there any redeeming value to this deck at all? Because no matter how much land I did get, it wasn't enough to keep up with anything that was thrown at me. So I think Dragons Take Flight was the best. Fairy Trickers probably comes in second, followed by Celebration. And I still like Adventure into Eldraine better than the Pigs. I don't think the Pigs is a good deck. But that's my rating. Let me know if you agree or disagree with that. Thanks, everybody. Remember to like and subscribe. I'll catch you next time. Have a good one.